Did you know that Jesus never actually said that faith should be the size of a mustard seed? I know that's something we've all heard countless times, but I want to take a moment to walk you through what he was really saying in Matthew 17, verse 20. Trust me, once you see this from a new perspective, it's going to make a world of difference in how you understand faith. Let's set the scene. Jesus is with his disciples, and they've just encountered a situation that left them puzzled. A man brought his son, who was suffering from seizures caused by a demon, to the disciples, hoping they could heal him. But despite their best efforts, they couldn't cast out the demon. Imagine the frustration and confusion they must have felt. They had walked with Jesus, seen him do countless miracles, and yet here they were, unable to help this child. So, what happens next? Jesus steps in, casts out the demon with authority, and the boy is healed. Then, when the disciples are alone with Jesus, they ask him, "Why couldn't we drive it out?" And here's where Jesus gives them a powerful teaching. He tells them, "Because of your little faith. For truly I tell you, if you have faith like a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you." Now, here's where many people get confused. We tend to focus on the idea of the mustard seed being tiny. We hear, "If you just have faith as small as a mustard seed," and immediately think that Jesus is talking about how little faith we need. But is that really what he's saying? Let's dig a little deeper. Jesus didn't say, "If you have faith the size of a mustard seed." He said, "If you have faith like a mustard seed." There's a big difference here, and it's crucial to understand this distinction. So, what is it about the mustard seed that Jesus wants us to focus on? It's not about size. It's about the nature of the seed, the characteristics that make it special. Let me walk you through a few of those characteristics, and you'll start to see what Jesus was really trying to teach his disciples and us. Number 1, the mustard seed is resilient. First, let's talk about resilience. The mustard seed is one of the most resilient seeds you'll find in nature. It can be stepped on, crushed, burned, and yet it remains intact. It doesn't break. It's tough. And that's the first lesson Jesus wants us to learn. Our faith needs to be resilient. Life is full of challenges. There are going to be times when you feel like you're being stepped on, like life is crushing you, burning you out. But Jesus is saying that if your faith is like that mustard seed, resilient, unbreakable, it won't matter what life throws at you. You'll keep standing. Think about that for a moment. How many times have you faced trials that tested your faith? Maybe it was a difficult season in your marriage, a financial crisis, or even a health scare. In those moments, your faith can feel fragile, right? But Jesus is reminding us that faith isn't about avoiding the challenges. It's about enduring through them, just like the mustard seed endures through crushing and fire. The resilience of the mustard seed isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving in the face of adversity. That's what Jesus wants for us, to have a faith that not only survives the storm, but comes out stronger on the other side. Number 2, the mustard seed grows quickly and strong. Next, let's talk about growth. When you plant a mustard seed, it doesn't just sit there. It grows, and it grows quickly. A tiny mustard seed can become a large tree, strong and sturdy. In fact, it grows so fast and so large that birds can come and make their nests in its branches. This is the second key lesson. Our faith needs to grow. And not just slowly, but rapidly and with strength. Too often we treat faith as something passive. We think, well, I have a little bit of faith, and that's enough. But Jesus is challenging us to let our faith grow, to nourish it, to give it what it needs to become strong and unshakable. How do we do that? How do we grow our faith? By spending time in God's Word. by praying, by surrounding ourselves with other believers who encourage and strengthen us. Faith isn't something that just happens. It's something that grows as we invest in our relationship with God. But here's the beautiful part. When your faith grows, it doesn't just benefit you. Just like that mustard tree provides a home for the birds, your strong faith becomes a refuge for others. When people see your faith in action, how it's growing, how it's strong, they're drawn to it. They find shelter in your strength. Your faith can inspire and uplift others, becoming a testimony to the power of God working in your life. Number 3, the mustard seed is pure and unmixed. And here's the final piece of the puzzle. The mustard seed is unique in that it cannot be hybridized. Scientists can't mix it with other seeds. It remains pure, unmixed. This is what Jesus is driving at when he says our faith should be like a mustard seed. It needs to be pure. What does that mean for us? It means our faith shouldn't be mixed with doubt, fear, or worldly influences. Too often, we allow other things to creep into our faith. We trust God, but we also worry about what the world says. We believe in His promises, but we also fear what might happen if things don't go our way. That's not the kind of faith Jesus is talking about. He's calling us to have a faith that is pure, unmixed, and focused solely on Him. A faith that isn't swayed by the opinions of others or the circumstances we face. A faith that says, I trust God, period. No buts, no maybes. I trust Him fully. This kind of faith is powerful. It's the kind of faith that moves mountains, that changes lives, that brings about miracles. And that's what Jesus was telling His disciples. It wasn't that they needed more faith. It's that they needed the right kind of faith. A resilient, growing, and pure faith. So, let's bring this all together. When Jesus talked about having faith like a mustard seed, He wasn't talking about size at all. He was talking about the qualities of that seed, the resilience, the rapid growth, the purity. He was challenging His disciples, and He's challenging us to have a faith that reflects those same characteristics. A faith that doesn't break under pressure. A faith that grows and strengthens every day. A faith that is pure, unmixed, and fully focused on God. Now I want to leave you with this question. What kind of faith do you have today? Is your faith resilient, able to stand strong in the face of adversity? Is it growing, becoming stronger with each passing day? Is it pure, unmixed with doubts or fears? If you feel like your faith is lacking in any of these areas, don't be discouraged. The beautiful thing about faith is that it can grow. You can start right now, asking God to help you develop a faith like that mustard seed, resilient, growing, and pure. Because when you do, nothing will be impossible for you. Just as Jesus promised, mountains will move. If you're ready to keep growing and seeing real transformation in your life, don't stop here. Make sure to watch the next video. And don't forget to like, comment, and share. Please consider to subscribe to my channel. May God bless you.